Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna, and today we're talking about a simple activity that many people do every day without thinking much about it, walking. But our real focus is not only exercise. It is how walking can help us think more clearly, feel calmer, and even solve problems. This topic is great for English learners because it connects health, daily routines, and useful vocabulary. In today's episode, we'll explore why walking is more powerful than it seems, and we'll share practical English expressions you can use when talking about habits, stress, energy, and concentration.
Hi everyone, I'm Jake, and I love this topic because walking is ordinary, but the benefits are extraordinary. Let's start with one key word, clarity. Clarity means clearness, especially in your thinking. If you say, I need some clarity, you mean you want your thoughts to become more organized and easier to understand. Many people notice that when they take a walk, a confusing problem starts to feel simpler. They may not find the perfect answer immediately, but their mind feels less crowded. That is an important expression too. If your mind feels crowded, you have too many thoughts competing for your attention. Walking often creates a little mental space.
That phrase, mental space, is very useful. It means the room your brain needs in order to think well. When your schedule is packed and you are jumping from one task to another, that mental space becomes smaller. Here is another helpful word, overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, you feel that you have too much to handle. Taking a short walk does not magically remove every problem, but it can reduce that heavy feeling and help you return with more balance.
There is also a difference between being active and being alert. Active means your body is moving. Alert means your mind is awake and ready. Sometimes people sit for hours and then wonder why their concentration disappears. Disappears simply means it goes away. A brief walk can wake up both the body and the brain. Another useful phrase is clear your head. If someone says, I'm going outside to clear my head, they mean they want to reduce stress or confusion so they can think better. It is a very natural expression in everyday English, and it fits this topic perfectly.
Yes, and many learners already know the word focus, but they may not know the verb wander. When your mind wanders, your attention moves away from what you are supposed to be doing. This happens all the time when people study, read, or work on a difficult task. You begin with good intentions, and 5 minutes later you are thinking about lunch, a message you forgot to answer, or your weekend plans. Walking can help because it gives those wandering thoughts a gentle path. Instead of fighting every thought, you move your body, breathe, and let your brain settle down naturally.
That leads to an interesting question: why does walking help thinking at all? One reason is rhythm. Rhythm means a regular pattern of movement or sound. When you walk, your steps create a steady rhythm. That repeated movement can be calming, almost like a beat in music. A steady rhythm can reduce mental noise. Mental noise means distracting thoughts, worries, and random ideas that make concentration more difficult. Walking gives your brain a smoother background.
Another important word here is reflection. Reflection means serious thought about something. If you reflect on a decision, you think about it carefully. Many people say their best ideas come not when they are staring at a screen, but when they are walking around the neighborhood, a park, or even a hallway. This is especially true when the problem is creative. Creative does not only mean making art. It can also mean finding a fresh solution, a new plan, or a different way to explain something. So if you are stuck on a problem, a walk may help because it changes both your environment and your mental pace.
I like that phrase, stuck on a problem. It means you cannot move forward. And when that happens, people often try to force an answer. But forcing it is not always effective. Effective means successful in producing the result you want. Sometimes the better strategy is to step away for a few minutes. Step away is another useful expression. It means to leave a task for a short time so you can return with fresh energy. For English learners, this is practical advice. If you cannot understand a paragraph, remember a word, or organize your speaking ideas, step away, walk a little, and then come back.
Let's talk about stress too, because this is one of the biggest reasons people walk. Stress is the pressure or tension you feel when life seems demanding. Demanding means requiring a lot of time, energy, or effort. When stress builds up, people may feel tense. Tense means physically or emotionally tight, like your shoulders are raised and your breathing is shallow. A walk can interrupt that pattern. Even 10 minutes outside can create a small but meaningful reset.
And if you walk outdoors, there may be an extra benefit. You are exposed to sunlight, fresh air, and a wider view than the one on your phone or computer. Exposure means the experience of being in contact with something. For example, children learn language through exposure to words, conversations, and stories. In the same way, adults can benefit from exposure to natural light and open space. There is also a nice expression, get some air. If someone says, I need to get some air, they usually mean they want to leave an indoor space for a while because they feel tired, stressed, or uncomfortable.
Now, let's make this topic very practical for listeners. You do not need a mountain, expensive shoes, or a perfect schedule. You can build a walking habit in small ways. Habit means something you do regularly because it becomes part of your routine. You might take a walk after lunch, get off the bus one stop early, or walk while listening to English audio. Here is another useful phrase, fit something in. If you fit a walk in, you find time for it in a busy schedule. Many people think healthy habits require huge changes, but often they begin with tiny decisions.
That is a great point. And for language learners, walking can become study time if you use it wisely. Wisely means in a smart and thoughtful way. For example, you can listen to a short podcast episode, review vocabulary with audio flashcards, or practice speaking to yourself in simple English. Some learners feel shy about speaking out loud, but walking alone can create a low-pressure environment. Low pressure means a situation that feels less stressful. You can describe your surroundings, summarize your day, or practice answering common questions like, what did you do this morning, or, what are your goals for this week?
I want to pause on that word surroundings, because it is very useful. Your surroundings are the things and places around you. If you are walking in a city, your surroundings might include traffic, stores, people, and signs. If you are walking in a park, your surroundings could be trees, birds, benches, and grass. Describing your surroundings is excellent speaking practice because it helps you use simple vocabulary in a real context. You can say, the street is crowded. The air feels cool. The sky looks cloudy. These short observations build fluency step by step.
There is also a useful distinction between exercise and movement. Exercise usually means planned physical activity for health or fitness. Movement is broader. It includes any time your body changes position or stays active. This distinction matters because some people think, if I cannot do a full workout, there is no point. But that mindset can become an obstacle. An obstacle is something that blocks progress. A short walk is still movement, and movement still matters. In conversation, you might say, I'm trying to move more during the day, or, I take walking breaks between meetings. Those are natural and modern expressions.
Speaking of breaks, let's look at the phrase take a break. It sounds simple, but it is one of the most useful expressions in English. It means to stop working for a short period in order to rest. Many people know they need breaks, but they ignore that need until they feel exhausted. Exhausted means extremely tired. Walking breaks are helpful because they are active without being too intense. If you have been sitting for a long time, a short walk can improve your mood and help you return to work with more patience.
I also think walking supports conversation. Some people find it easier to talk while walking side by side than while sitting face to face. Side by side means next to each other. In that position, the conversation can feel more relaxed and less formal. Friends may open up more easily, and even difficult topics can feel less uncomfortable. Open up means to share your thoughts or feelings more honestly. You might hear someone say, let's walk and talk, which means let's discuss something while moving instead of staying at a desk.
Before we finish, let's share a few simple tips. First, start small. A 10-minute walk is enough to begin. Second, attach the walk to something you already do, like finishing breakfast or ending work. Attach here means connect one habit to another. Third, pay attention to how you feel before and after the walk. Do you feel calmer, more awake, or less distracted? Noticing those changes helps motivation. Motivation means the reason or energy that pushes you to act. And finally, if you are learning English, turn some of your walks into listening or speaking practice so one habit supports another.
Let's recap today's key points. We talked about clarity, mental space, overwhelmed, alert, clear your head, wander, rhythm, reflection, effective, stress, exposure, habit, surroundings, obstacle, exhausted, and open up. More importantly, we discussed the big idea behind all those words. Walking is not only transportation or exercise. It can be a tool for better thinking, calmer emotions, stronger focus, and more natural language practice. If today's episode helped you, please subscribe to the English Daily Podcast and share it with another English learner. Keep walking, keep listening, and keep practicing. We'll see you next time.